Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to A Scene for the Living World of Darkness Mage. This scene is a continuation of when Sylvana and Michael last met with a group of tradition mages who have asked them to, as they know New York, and as a kind of a way of also proving their Cabal's abilities, to find a rogue entity called the Experiment in New York. They also know that they met a member of the Technocratic Union who informed them that it was a rogue experiment that was highly dangerous, and to basically it's part of a prisoner exchange program. The leader of the Cabal said that they don't expect you to fight it; they just expect you to locate it. In return, they have given you some aid, and they will consider this a small way of also kind of getting to proving yourselves to the traditions, and from then on they will help you reach out and find people to induct you into the traditions if you would
and just information.
And just information and help and perhaps even friendship and companionship if you would like.
Yes, so, let's all join the technocracy.
Exactly. So you know several things. Foistly, as Robbie scrolls down to find his older post, you know that you have been given a dossier by Natasha, the Union agent, that tells you that it needs power, electrical power, and a lot of it. It likely responds when cornered with extreme violence. It seems to avoid and be hurt by extreme light. Its reality zone is unstable and will degrade when in contact with consensus-stable zones, and it needs vast quantities of organic proteins to sustain itself, likely equal to over a dozen regular people daily. And by that, I don't mean that's the number of, like, biological, that's like this number of food for a dozen people. Not it needs a dozen people to eat. Although...
It has to be people? Does it have to be people, or can it be some other form of protein? Cows.
You have it written there. It can be anything.
Just as protein, right?
That's what it says.
Okay.
And I think we will start in the Chantry, and both of you will have, because the scene starts, both of you will also have heard the most recent news, which is it's basically just part of this 24-hour news cycle, that a subway worker has gone missing in the Jersey subway link. So that is the tunnel underneath the Hudson River to Jersey City. Subway workers were working on it, trying to fix the power outages that have plagued the tunnel recently. Authorities are looking into it, and for now the link has been closed. So no trains will be running.
Okay. Well, considering our last adventure when we thought there was a big, scary robot, and it turned into really creepy stuff.
Are we saying that New Jersey is a different reality zone? Jack says, literally says that as well. Do we think it's a different reality zone?
I don't think I know enough to be able to figure out what is a reality zone and what is not. I think that I don't use those terms a lot. Reality zone. It really feels a little too technical for me. She just kind of pushes the paper away, even though she still is looking over it.
Okay.
You see my point, though, right? This was clearly written by the technocrats.
But they think something's going on in the tunnel.
I mean, that's a logical option. There is a person missing that could be food, and it needs a lot of power.
It's in the dark. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we need a source of light before we go, though. Like, a lot of light. How are you with light?
Yeah, that's something that we can do.
You mean you can do? I realize that you are much better with certain things than me, and in that particular case, I have not actually learned it yet. Although, I mean, God is light, is he not?
Speaking of God, could he like give any hint as to if we can even get into this tunnel?
Did who?
I think he means that you're God.
Oh, sorry.
No,
that was an in-character question. Apologies.
No, that was an in-character question to Sylve.
Oh. Oh, I thought you were asking God like Robbie. I'm like, whoa,
No.
okay.
I heard
She
God and I just
blinks.
assumed it was me.
Me too. I mean, who doesn't? Anyway, yeah, so she just kind of blinked at this. Well, I haven't been praying about it recently, and to be honest, I don't get too many direct responses. But I mean, the best way to know is to go and see what's going on. Because as I hear, there's a whole tunnel system down there. There's probably some way to get in there.
Can't.
I could actually know. Lucy.
Yeah, can't St. Lucy give you a suggestion?
Oh, see, I'm not exactly sure who that is.
Patron. Literally, that was me just googling patron saint of sight.
Oh, funny. Well, I mean, she can certainly, project herself out to do that, can't she? Isn't that what correspondence is? So, yeah, she's like, fine, look, give me a little bit here. I'll see what I can see out that way. Hopefully it's not like that park that the area that the tree's in, because I could hardly get even in there to see anything.
If being like we are has taught us anything, it's that it's only rewarding if it's hard.
Yeah, I need to try again. Is anybody here any good with seeing out there like I am, or at least can they do it? That somebody that might be able to do it with me?
I think Eamon can, but I can't. And if we want to go now...
Oh, I know. I don't mean the tree right now. That's not what we're doing. Okay. Yeah, no, I'll see what I can see out there. Hopefully there's no shielding or weirdness, but who knows if there's reality issues.
I was saying, we don't need to find it. We just need to find the way in.
Yeah. She nods. She's like, okay, while I do that, do you think you can scrounge up like a couple of the strongest flashlights that are possible? So even if magic doesn't work, we still have something really bright to shine at it.
Yeah, we can use that method as well, I guess.
I know. I'm not trying to be disappointing. You can do your way. It's fine.
I'll be back in half an hour or so.
Sounds good. I will be in my worship space. You know where it is. Just knock before you come in.
Yeah. If you get done before I'm back, I'll see you downstairs.
She nods. And yeah, she's going to head upstairs to the library where she has set up a crafting space / she took over the little office in the library, made it into her worship space, which is now a sanctum at 1.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to go in there because we're better, if you're going to be doing something religious. So yeah, I don't think she doesn't have any amulet for that particular saint, but there's no reason why she couldn't pray to that saint. So she's going to kneel and, start praying in Italian, because that is her thing. She likes to work in Italian because it just comes naturally to her that way. And yeah, she's basically going to try to pray and like close her eyes and try to see out there, asking for vision in the direction, basically the place that we need to see what's going on. Also, if we can find any signs of like magic that might be tricking at us, that might be good. Well, so I have. I think I have prime sight as well, so maybe we can throw that in there. Be prime and correspondence because it's far away.
So it could be throwing your senses or finding a route or
Yeah.
something is corresponds to use prime to detect quintessence or magical resonance. Please don't use prime sight. It's not a thing. It doesn't exist.
Well,
Is
that's just me
one.
calling it that. It would be like
It's a
it would be
pet
like
peeve of mine.
well, just calling it that. I mean, I could come up with something else. It'd be like the site of Saint Lucy or something like that.
No,
But
it's
if you
more the
did
point that prime sight can, or what people say is prime sight can detect one of two things. It's not just it detects everything.
Right. I think I knew that. It's just been a while since I've done it.
No worries.
If you're using to detect magic, you're sorry, you're sensing quintessence, which is indeed prime one.
Right, which I have. So
So your difficulty would be, you're looking for a route a place you've never been. So
Right.
you would need 5 successes at difficulty, as I said, coming to no sort of effect. Difficulty 5.
Okay.
Would you like to
Okay.
ritualize this?
I mean, she would. We could certainly throw some other bits in there, bits of religion-y things in there to make it longer, including things like repeating the prayer over and over. Yeah, which is definitely a thing.
Yep, absolutely. So to ritualize it, you need 5. So each roll is essentially 5 minutes, which would be plenty of time. That's no problem. Yeah, would you like to add flair to it?
Flair.
So how elaborate would you like to get? The more elaborate and into your practice specifically you can get, the higher the reduction will be.
Like a bunk,
Well, exactly like a bunk, but mage.
because we stole the rules from bunks.
Right. Which is fair. Bunks are actually a fun idea.
Yeah, they're really good.
I know. I've always loved Changeling.
Yeah.
I just don't know what else she would really add to it. It's not so much a flashy kind of thing she does.
Well, you can pray. We can look at St. Lucy.
Well,
She's
yeah.
blind.
St.
Lucy was blind.
Well, what she can do, I mean, I'm sure she would at least be able to come up with a picture that she could, put up, like a drawing or whatever it was that exists of this saint. And she could come up with that easily enough since she doesn't have the amulet at this exact point. Note to self to get it later.
Can I make a suggestion? Sorry.
No,
To
go
invoke
for it.
St. Lucy, cover your eye, like for praying, tie a scarf around your eyes and blind yourself.
That's a good idea. That's definitely a good idea. Yeah, because we're trying to really connect with that saint.
Yeah, so St. Lucy,
and she's trusting.
And she has a thing about having her eyes on a golden plate. Other symbolic images include a lamp, a dagger, and 2 oxen. You have, I assume, you have some in religion.
She has, yeah.
Whatever
she has,
by theology.
Esoterica.
So it's Esoterica Benedicaria. So the her specific version of religion.
Mm-hmm. Well, you would know this about.
And she has it at 3.
So the more elaborate and creative and reality warping you want to get with it, the better your reductions will be.
Well, I do think that oxen are a little too big for an office space. But there's no reason why there couldn't be a lamp. There were I'm sure, she could certainly bring one in if there wasn't one in there already.
Sure.
So she could do that, and yeah, totally like blindfold herself, because she's trusting that St. Lucy will give her the vision she really needs to see.
Okay.
So that's what she would need. Yeah, totally. I mean, it's not like.
Also, you having your eyes closed is very convenient for throwing your senses, as it is a very practical way for you to see it.
Sure, but that wouldn't be why she's doing it. But yes, definitely.
Okay. Cool. You can do that with a -2 difficulty, so that will be difficulty 3.
Okay. I had this open to the right page. All right.
I'm in Mage Dice Roller.
Indeed. I am moving from Changeling. Give me a moment. There we go. That's 3.
That is 3 successes.
And 6.
That is 5 successes. Cool. You sit there praying, chanting, closing your eyes, embracing and indulging in the iconography of St. Lucy. Your eyes are closed and you go into a kind of semi-trance like state. You see they're not so much like direct visions as they are, you feel like they're being kind of sent to you, and you see a subway station. The name of the subway station is. One second. Apology. It is Chelsea subway station, and it is in the west of New York. And
Okay.
your eyes go down into it, and you see that there's a sign that says this looks like it's closed. There doesn't appear to be anybody there. There are some like the ticket barriers appear to not be working, and you see that the actual entrances have just had their shutters pulled down. And you kind of see these in kind of like flashing images.
Were there a lot of people there?
Nope.
Or like on the outside? Because I mean, if this is a crime scene, they said someone has gone missing.
Yeah, about half a kilometer away. There's nobody there.
Okay. Okay.
Or at least you don't see them.
So there's just the things pulled down. Do they look like they're locked?
Yeah, they look like they're not open, but they don't. Then you can't see locks, but you would assume they're not, from what you know. They're not open.
Okay. Is there some sort of alternate, like other tunnel that she might be able to go down that isn't locked up?
This is the effect that you were looking for, to find a way down there.
Right. Well, we found a way down there, but if it's locked up, then we'd have to batter it open or pry it. We'll have to bring like a crowbar or something.
Or
And
ask
if
the
it's
metal
locked,
ask the metal to kindly turn to water.
that is a possibility. Yes. Okay. Well, at least we found a way. And I don't see anything like. I'm not sensing any kind of other magical effects going on.
So no, apologies. You do not sense any magic. No.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So this only took like what, 10 minutes, maybe another 5 looking around, right?
Yeah. This took 10. This took 10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Then she will come up out of this, and she'll stay there for longer. Thanking. Praying, continuing to pray to Saint Lucy to say thank you for guiding me.
Mm-hmm. You have a sense of kind of calm come over you. You feel very, yeah. It's nice to bask in the presence of a saint.
Yeah, she'll stay there probably until she hears a knock on the door. Honestly, because
she won't hear a knock on the door, as Jack feels that intruding on someone else's sort of prayer and meditation is highly improper.
but she had just said you could.
Yes, I know, but he's still not going to. But he will be. What he will do is he will be doing the thing where you sort of deliberately walk around noisily, just so it's obvious that he's back.
Okay, fair enough. Well, she'll stay in there. She's gonna enjoy this lovely side effect of things because it's nice. But then eventually she'll go and make sure she's puts on shoes appropriate for going in subway tunnels. Abandoned subway tunnels, so beat up shoes and clothes she doesn't care about because she's been through some nasty stuff lately. So she's gonna wear clothes she's willing to burn. And yeah, she'll like throw some waters. She'll grab her backpack and like head down because she's gonna start grabbing some waters and some snack things, and hopefully he's got that big flashlight. But yeah, you see her walking down, and she's wearing, not dirty clothes, but they're clearly older kind of clothes.
I'm assuming would have been about 3 blocks where I can just buy a big ass torch.
You can go to any big box or hardware store and you can buy those things for resources 1. So yeah.
Yep. So Jack comes back, massive torch, spare battery pack, and probably like a small mag light as well for the person who's not holding the massive torch.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she also had like a regular flashlight on. She'll take a backup. You with her too, because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. And just success.
St. Lucy was very hopeful. Yes,
Brilliant.
I know how to get there. There will be a door that's either locked or shut. I'm not sure which. We'll have to figure out a way through that. But it didn't look like there were a ton of people.
That won't be a problem. If the spirit of the lock won't open directly for me, then we'll just melt it.
And then kind of wonder what excuse they're going to come up for when they discover it.
What, the gate's busted?
Not at all melted.
Yeah.
You know I'm only kidding you. It's
probably yeah. Jack will be like, probably metal theft.
Oh yeah,
money.
someone took a blowtorch, man. Someone took a blowtorch down there. Yeah, so just give me a couple minutes. I was gonna make like a couple sandwiches, just so we can be prepared for whatever comes our way down there. Hopefully not too bad, but better safe than sorry, right?
Sure.
Is there anything you want? But she starts heading for the kitchen because she's planning to make a couple sandwiches, one for each of them, really.
I'm good with anything. Something pretty basic. Just make sure it's got mustard on it, please.
She nods, and she disappears off into the kitchen. Obviously, it doesn't take too long to make a couple of sandwiches, so she does, and will return with her backpack all closed up. She also has a bunch of her different things, like stuff that she would use for magic in there. But that's not really showing. That's just sort of in there.
Yeah, no. Jack will gather up his stuff like his axe and his bowl, lighter, flask of water.
Mm-hmm.
And
we need to get to Chelsea subway station. But you can probably Google how to do that.
Yeah, that should be fine. If it's a closed subway station, then we can't get the subway there directly. But yeah, let's just go to the next stop.
Yeah, that's fine.
Walk. Yeah.
So if we can get there, then I can get it from there. Because I don't want to walk the whole way. I mean, I could, but I don't want to.
Completely.
So
cool.
Have you lost as many clothes as I have recently? To burning?
I think less than you, but still enough that I notice.
Just wondering. I just hope there aren't any really gross spiders down there.
They're probably smaller than the last one.
God, I hope so. She's still like shivering, like as she starts to head out the door.
As you guys step out into the city, the cold air hits you. It is a chilly spring day here in New York, and the air is as such. You continue out. There's a subway station very nearby, and you can easily get there. Get tickets to very close to where you want to be going.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
No one gives you any looks on the subway. There's a busker a few carts down. Everyone's giving him a kind of wary distance.
So we'll stop and give him a couple bucks because he deserves it just for taking all the stairs.
You get a nod and a thank you and a big smile. And your subway journey is fairly uneventful. You arrive
Yay.
a couple of blocks away from the station that you need to go to. And you come out. Do you just want to go straight there, or do you want to do something? This is not me like trying to trick question you.
No.
I think just go straight there.
She'll lead. Well, not lead the way. She's walking with him, but she'll kind of show the way. It's this way.
Cool.
Because from here, she should be able to tell. You would think, since she's already kind of quote been here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You guys go down. You guys arrive at the station, which is actually called Fulton Street Station. I'm an absolute liar.
Okay then.
Disgusting.
And
God has just changed my brain.
yeah, basically you can just go down, and there doesn't seem to be an issue. There are a few like kind of shops in the entrance that are closed. There doesn't appear to be anyone else really down here, and you can head towards the ticket barrier. At the ticket barrier, you don't see anybody, but you hear a kind of whistling, and a figure walks around the corner who looks like this.
Oh, jeez. You're famous, man.
This is my secret love of Paul Blackmore Cop. And he wanders up. Hey, folks, subway's closed today. You see, he has a like New York Transport Police badge on. Actually, no, New York Transport Security Officer. So he's not real police. Train's closed. You go a few blocks that way, and you'll be able to get a new one.
Why is it closed?
You might have read about it in the papers. One of the workers went missing. They were working out there on a something to do with a power outage, and he's not there. And he'll just shrug. That's all I know.
That's too bad. I'll keep him in my prayers.
Thank you.
She sort of smiles to him, just a little smile, and she'll kind of glance over to Jack because she's not sure if Jack wants to do something or if we just want to leave and sneak back in.
Jack will just leave it. Like, thank you for your service, sir.
He absolutely appreciates that. But he smiles, and he just kind of like seems to just be kind of doing a very small patrol of the area.
Okay. And then, Jackal will sort of head round the corner, and then he will sort of, as soon as he gets out of the cop's eyesight, he will stop.
So are you in? So there's a small, like at the entrance of like an underground or subway. There's often like the kind of to the ticket barrier. There's like a bit of a way. Are you in there, or are you? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like,
so it's not that far. It's basically just like there's one entrance, and it's a relatively small area, although it's not all seeable from one area.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sylv, I think the easiest way to do this might be for you to show off again. If you can get in, just like sort of leaning vaguely around the corner and pointing somewhere that Mr. Moorcop wouldn't be able to see, and just knock something over and then run away, that'll distract him. Or if you can do it to other objects, you can just make a noise just around the corner that he goes and investigates, and we run and jump the ticket barrier.
I mean, I guess I'm a little confused with your plan here, but we don't even actually have...
We just need to distract him somewhere.
Well, if he thinks that we've left, we could just sort of sneak past him. Because you can see he's kind of going in a pattern. It's like a video game.
Yeah, if you think we can. Not
Does this seem reasonable? Because since he seemed to be doing a pattern.
Yeah, he does. So the ticket barriers are within sight of the grill over the entrance to the actual like stairs to going down into the subway. And the areas he is kind of wandering around in a pattern, but it's not that big. You'd be there. Like if you could feasibly argue that he might be out of sight for 20, 30 seconds at most.
That might be enough to run over it, to like bolt past the barrier, though, right? Bolt and jump the barrier, right?
But then if the grate is within sight, we'll have to make some noise to get it open.
Right. Well, from that point... Okay, so the point is, I guess, that we need to get this open first so we can get down the tunnel enough.
Yeah. Or just get him out of the way somehow.
Right. I could probably distract him if I could ask him if I could just use the restroom. Maybe get him to show me where it is.
Round the corner, the figure ambles again. Oh, hey, folks. Just taking some time out of the rain.
Jack will give Sylv a vaguely apologetic look for what he's about to do, and then just put a hand round her waist, and he's like, "No, just enjoying some privacy."
Oh,
yeah, some sort of blinks, and well, she'll try to fit into this. Put a hand, just touch him as well, trying to look as if this is comfortable.
Yeah.
He just goes bright red. Oh, European. Sure. You kids. You kids stay safe down here. No, don't. He'll just kind of look very awkward, and he'll look at his watch.
Kind of hiding her face off to one side.
I think it's about time. It's about time for coffee. You guys want coffee? No, you guys are good. And he'll just look at you for a moment, and he'll just turn around and like walk away very, very quickly.
Like back, as in he's leaving, or he's heading back down?
No, as in he's leaving the subway. He's going to get a coffee.
Okay. Well, that made life very simple. Yeah, so I guess we'll have to stay.
Jack just looks so... I am so sorry, but at least we got what we needed.
Oh, Jack got what he needed.
A feel of her waist?
Yeah. An awkward hand on
He used to be a priest. Sorry.
Yeah, shit.
I mean, it's not. He's probably had a girlfriend at some point in his life when he was younger. Maybe.
Yeah. Suffice to say that that's the most action Jack's had in like 10 years.
Well, the boyfriend Silvana brought up was when she was 15. So you tell me.
Yeah, completely.
So yeah, there's totally a tinge of pink, but she doesn't maybe look as uncomfortable as you might expect. But yeah, there's her skin's pale. If there's any pink on her face, you can sort of see that there's a bit of a blush there. But
oh yeah, no, Jack's the same. It's incredibly awkward and unhappy about the whole thing. Like he's like, let's go and never talk about this.
Yeah, she's just gonna like obviously move her hand away from him, be like, okay, let's go, and I'll just make sure I let my sister know about my new boyfriend, and she like takes off ahead of him a little bit.
Just turns substantially more pink.
That's a standard. We have to make awkward even more awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just keeps going. Because she knows where to go. She's going that way.
Yeah.
The area is the area with the ticket barrier is now deserted. The actual entrance to the stairs down into the subway are around 10 meters behind the barrier, so not that far.
Mhm.
The barriers you can climb over, jump through. Like they're no obstacle if you have
Yeah.
10 seconds of it's easy.
Yeah, and head over to the grate after doing an awkward attempt at a 1980s slide over the barriers, like 1980s sort of after-school sitcom slide over. Probably doesn't go very well.
Okay, you roll dexterity athletics to look cool.
Yes, Sylve's not trying to look cool. She's just trying to get over it.
Trying to dispel that moment of just awkward tension.
Where are you rolling?
Sorry, I literally realized that I had the wrong sheet up. So okay, it's actually relatively successful.
Yeah, looks pretty cool. Like more by accident than by style,
By
but yeah.
design.
So you're suddenly thinking that Jack's looking like a pretty cool guy. Like he does a pretty sweet jump. Maybe he's been working out.
Maybe he has been. If only his face wasn't still a little red.
When you get to the grate at the entrance to the stairs, it's basically just like the grate you'd pull down over a shop when it's closed.
The one that looks like kind of like a jail cell kind of thing.
Yeah, it looks like there's an electric switch that probably does it with a key.
Okay. Electricity might be a thing, but that might just keep it stuck. This isn't the movies.
Yeah, Jack. just because the obvious thing is just Occam's razor. Jack is going to try reaching at the bottom and try and pull it up.
Sorry, what was that?
Just in case the obvious thing works, Jack is going to try and physically pull it up. Not
no,
very
you
hard,
can't.
but just check if it's physically possible.
Nope. Do we have an armor charm?
You do, evidently. It's on the side that says, "Get me in!" And
Yeah,
now
I just added him.
he doesn't have a face or anything up, but you know.
I'm sorry, I'm putting my.
You just missed the
the
highlight of the whole made venue ever.
What happened?
Jack got the most action that he's had in probably 15 years.
For Sylve, something like probably 10.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They shared brief physical contact to try and avoid more cop.
Yeah.
For Eamon, back at the Chantry, he comes home and the guys had very kindly pinned a note that said they were off to Falkland Station to look into Fulton or whatever it is. Basically, they're off to a subway station to look into the goings on and try and help the traditions to find this hit mark. A worker has gone missing, and in an area where there's lots of power outages, and they're going to try and get there. You see this, and they say, basically, you have decided to make your way there.
They,
Sound good?
Basically, left to kill more squirrels without me, and Eamon immediately takes his wand and goes there with a cab if he can.
Yeah, you get there in a cab at just around the time the guys jump over the fence, and you can text them, "Hey, I'm also at the station. Where are you?" Actually,
that's exactly what I would do.
You come to the station and you see the character in my overlay running up the stairs, looking very, very red. And he basically gets to the top of the stairs, and he just mutters under his breath, "John McClane never had to deal with that." And you see him wander off to a coffee and donut shop.
Eamon just nods to him very nicely.
As he's walking, he'll nod to you.
And he will enter this place if he can.
Sure, you can. It's basically a subway that's been closed. There's no one else there. As you enter, you see Jack basically jumping over the ticket barrier quite coolly, actually, and Sylvana jumping over as well. And
In
they
a much
run
calmer fashion.
in a much calmer fashion, and they run to the like the kind of the metal grating that comes down in front of the stairway, actually down into the subway. And Jack tries to lift it, and it doesn't move.
Guys.
Dude, come
Get
here.
over here.
Eamon, get over here. Quickly.
Yeah, totally perfect timing. As she just kind of glances to where's
you
my
roll
brain
me-
today? To Jack. Yeah.
Can you roll me perception empathy, Eamon?
Yeah, that's pretty much it's yeah.
Yeah.
She kind of glances at Jack and then will turn to look to face the this thing.
Jack-
She's like, well,
Has this very forced, like, fixed facial expression.
That's very
if anything though, I'm gonna say he's probably a little more red than she is.
Yeah, completely. Which is why he's
Because
like
he's a priest.
really making a thing about concentrating. Yeah.
I have 6. I have 1 success.
You get that there's, I don't know, these two look a little red in the face, and maybe there's something a bit tense here. You don't. Maybe you walked in on these two arguing. You're not quite sure, but it doesn't seem like that big a deal to you.
Yeah, okay. He's like, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's kind of studying this thing, and as he's apparently also studying this thing and pondering. We got to get through here, Eamon. It's down here. Well, at least where everything happened was down here.
What happened?
So you know that the experiment we're looking for?
Mm-hmm.
We think it's down here. There's some stuff about power outages and it killed some people. It's out of the light. Like it. Yeah, it could. It's got plenty of electricity because there's some power shortages. All of it kind of adds up, maybe.
It was worth a shot. That's kind of what we figured.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll follow you guys in.
Do you know if you can?
Do you wanna try
Eamon,
and do
can you
this?
short circuit the lock or something and try and get this thing up?
Huh?
Jack's
How
gonna.
are you? How are you with electricity? As she points to the electronic lock.
I don't know.
Do you want to find out? Like, just see if just a zapping that does anything.
I mean, like, I know how to throw, like, lightning bolts.
Just like a smaller
That's all
lightning
you
bolt
need.
into the lock.
Okay.
That's all you need. We'll see if that opens it. If not, then maybe someone's melting something today.
Yeah, okay, let's just try it then. As we'll try to give, like, some light, some electronics, electricity, not electronics, some electricity to this.
Sure.
Lock.
What practice are you invoking?
I am going to basically, like, this was a rope that I'm using.
Mhm.
I was like able to create like lightning attacks, but like I think now I'm not attacking this. I'm basically
No,
trying.
but that's
light.
fine.
Yeah. Basically, he pulls his wand and he mutters like some Enochian commands.
Cool.
He does this like very bit of a posh hand gesture. When I
The
say posh,
difficulty-
is it? Go
That's
on,
cool.
go on, sir.
No, the difficulty will be 6 as a base. You can roll intelligence, esoterica, Enochian if you have it to low the difficulty.
I don't have.
What do you
Enochian.
have for Enochian of any kind?
I have like a language Enochian.
Oh,
The,
okay, that's cool.
Basically,
Weird.
Carl said I need to find someone to teach me esoterica Enochian.
Okay.
And
Do you have occult?
I have occult. Yes, occult 3.
Okay, you can just roll intelligence occult.
Thank you. I don't think specialties does count in this. I have book learning, but I don't think it does. I rolled and I have. What's the difficulty for reducing this?
6.
Oh shit! I have 3 successes. So
Okay, the difficulty is 3.
I have
Your
3
RTA roll.
successes. The RTA roll.
You
spent-
have 4 successes.
Oh shit! I spent one. I think like for me to create a lightning, I need to spend like
A point of quint.
point of quint.
Yep. Cool. Okay.
3
So
left.
yeah, there's a small spark from your wand. You actually are trying to do kind of a much more subtle effect, and then there's quite a big bang, and a reasonable sized lightning or electrical bolt surges out. Can you take 1 paradox for doing vulgar magic, please?
No problem.
And yeah, there is a kind of a bang, and the lights go out.
He kind of like turns. I tried, guys.
She'll go over and try to lift the gate again just to see if that helped at all.
It's still very heavy, but you're able to move it a little bit.
Hey, you guys come over and help me.
Yeah, let's do that.
I think we can lift this.
Okay.
So
With all 3 of you lifting it, you're able to lift it up enough that you can kind of all come under.
Good enough. As long as we don't have to run away through it.
here's
Yeah,
something.
that works.
You slam it down behind you, and there's a big
Carefully,
bang.
we'll try to. Can we try to be a little quieter?
You can. As you do it, however, there is some noise, and you see a torch coming down the stairs, past the barrier to the street, and Paul is shouting, "Who's there? I'm warning you. I know karate. I watched Joe Rogan." And but he's not.
Yeah, so we'll just kind of. Yeah, the lights. You said the lights went out where we're at, right? So
Yeah.
Syl's just gonna hold up her finger to her mouth and she's like, shh, and she's gonna back against a wall. Try to like blend in.
I mean, you can start walking down the stairs. He's not looking towards the barrier. You can see
Okay,
the
fair
light.
enough. Then yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll just try to quietly walk then.
Yep.
You go down the stairs. You come down onto a subway station. It's not a very big one. There is some emergency lighting down here, but not very much. Actually, no, I'm a liar. There isn't any emergency lighting. It's pitch black down here.
Jack is going to take out the big flashlight and turn that on and take out his mag light. He knows that Sylv brought another torch with her as well. So he's going to offer the small mag light to Eamon.
Maybe we'll take the light.
That's fine. Yeah, and she'll be like, okay, well, do I still know the direction, how to get there from, how to get further in from here, or is it just through the grate? It's somewhere down this way.
Yeah, so it's pretty. You can see the directions on the side of the on the sides that say where you're going.
Okay.
So like you go to one side. So yeah, it's fine. You can basically see going to Jersey City is one platform. You can head down that way.
Yeah, she'll be like, I think it's this way, and she points to the side to kind of prove her point.
Okay, let's go. Be careful and let's hope a train doesn't come.
Sorry, this is blocked off entirely.
Oh, is it blocked off entirely? Okay.
Yep. No, sorry, it's not just it's actually this route is blocked off. So they blocked
Okay.
off the stations.
No, that's totally cool. Okay, let's go.
So I'm thinking we should go kind of quietly, because if it sees us, it's probably going to attack us. Okay, I realize we have lights, but we have to have those.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just.
I agree. No point even if there's nothing here, no point making a noise.
Yeah. So, and there might be something else along the way here too. I don't know if there's anything else we need, but even anything could be a clue, I suppose. So we just need to know where this thing's at. If he's down here, we can get out of here and call in the big guns.
Mm-hmm.
Who are the big guns?
The traditions.
Oh, okay.
Totally just the traditions. Maybe we can talk about this in a minute. We'll explain afterwards. How about that?
Mhm.
So yeah, head down.
Cool. You head along the railway. It's quite cold down here, and you occasionally hear the squeaking of mices. And
This
yeah,
feels relatively clean compared to the last excursion, so it's fine.
it smells weird down here. It's kind of like a stale cave. There's obviously like this kind of the only noise is dripping from the ceiling. Occasionally, you hear a really distant kind of rumble sound that you might guess is a train kind of going on one of the along a connected tunnel in some way. But it's just very quiet and quite calm, really.
It's not what I expected from the lair of a killer robot.
Maybe it's not a lair. Maybe he just was here.
Maybe. I mean, if we can't see anything, maybe I could. I don't know. Maybe I can talk to the rails. I don't know if.
You could. If anything happened down here, they might know.
How close are we to where? Do we know how close we are to where the guy died?
No. Down, you don't know where the person died aside from in this tunnel. You know the tunnel's quite long because it's across the River Hudson, which is
Yeah.
very wide, and also part of New York. And but down here, you don't know. It seems you're not sure how far you've gone. It's like you've really lost your bearings. Like there's no way for you to know. You're just walking in darkness.
The Amen actually says, if you guys want, I can try to create a torch. Or
No, we literally have lights.
oh, I thought like he said. I thought he said like it doesn't work because we're walking in darkness. But
No,
in
you're.
the
I mean,
same-
you're in darkness, but you have your torches.
Oh, okay,
Sorry.
okay. I'm happy to hear. I'm happy to hear that. Just to ask out of curiosity, I have matter 2 and correspondence 2. Can I like do something in a way where it will be easier for me to see things? Can I like see through walls via matter 2?
No, because matter would be. You can probably do some kind of detection through matter, but to turn the actual thing see-through. So, for example, you could do like heat sense through a wall or something like that.
I have
But
life as well, like life matter correspondence 2. Maybe I can like because we are looking for something like they say like oh it's a failed experiment, but as far as he knows, it may have a life sign. Like when I say life sign, I basically like what Eamon would see is like a life form. I think. When I say a life form, because I use this like fancy language, but basically he would see like he would like maybe
so you can definitely in a theoretical sense you can use correspondence on life to detect life signs within an area, which is cool. How do you do it within the realms of your practice and instruments?
I'm just gonna. He's gonna have like a chalk. Like one of my carried equipment is a chalk, and basically I'm gonna like do a circle on the ground and point like us, like do like 3. The way he see, like he will like make like this signature of life, like 3 signatures. 3 signs, not signatures, sorry, 3 signs to the ground where like they're in front of this circle, and then like he will point his wand to the circle and basically command the Enochian, show me he will just say, "Show me." So maybe he can see the the life, if there is possible life on the map he created. If you know what I mean.
Absolutely, I really like that. That's cool. Yeah, if you're using Enochian again, I'd like you to roll Occult.
Thank you.
The difficulty for this will be 2. Will be yeah, the difficulty will be 6, as I think this is vulgar as your like.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 successes at the occult.
Cool. The difficulty is 3.
Got 1 success. Try to
Okay.
roll more if I need more successes, though.
It starts to show up, and you see Enochian sigils kind of appear, and they're all around you. There are dozens and dozens of them, quite small ones.
Dozens of small ones.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, it didn't work. There's a lot of life around us. Dozens.
If you would like to get more specific and add more successes to the roll, go for it.
Yeah. I will
Jackal,
try to
yeah,
do
Jackal just say the rats.
that. Yeah, rats. He will try. What's my difficulty for this?
3. No, sorry, you have to roll again.
Oh shit. Okay, I'm gonna roll my
This will take you a while. This takes like 5 minutes to do. You'll kind of
completely.
chanting Enochian.
I have 2 more successes at difficulty 6 for occult roll.
Cool. The difficulty is 4 for your Arate roll.
And 1 success.
Okay.
I can try to do 1 more.
No, it's okay. You chant, and there's lots of these small ones around, and one of the small ones begins to stand out a bit. And these sigils, which use the various Enochian kind of terms of life, it's half of a symbol. So literally, like whatever the occult symbol is, it's like half of one, and it stands out as it's the only odd one, and it's further down the corridor the way you were walking.
He will immediately relay this in a whisper. So I try to understand. As he will whisper this, I try to understand who's around us. I see like a half-life sign down the corridor.
So was probably staring at you at this point, because what the hell language was that?
It's the language of the angels.
I'm just saying that's exactly. She's just looking at you like, what the hell is that? But she doesn't say anything. And she's just, I guess then that's the way we need to go. Maybe it's, like Sesame Street. One of these things is not like the other.
Okay. Let's yeah.
So he, like, one hand with his left hand, he's holding the light, and like the other hand, he's holding the wand.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, like, okay, guys, if you guys want, I can lead the way.
She nods.
Go
Sure.
for it.
And he will lead the way towards that, like, how he saw that, like, small map. Try to go.
Don't fall into anything.
He says, I will try.
You walk further down in the direction that it was hinting this weird half-life symbol was pointing you, and you walk for maybe another few minutes, around 5, 6, 7, and you kind of go round a bend, and a bit further up, you see a very, very dim red light on the floor.
Red light on the floor.
Yeah.
Look
Jack
up
turned
to see
his
where the
light
light is coming from. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, that's a good idea. When she sees him do that, she'll also turn off the light, but she's going to look up to see if she can see the source of the light.
No, sorry. It's a light on the floor, as in a light, not light.
Oh, so there's actually electricity here.
You see a small red light on the floor further up.
Is it like the light that like you have on your screen, like the red light?
No, so I'm saying like as if it was a small thing. It's very small, giving off red light, as if like a small light bulb or something.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so she won't actually turn off her light then if it's not enough to actually see by. She'll just kind of put her hand over the end so she kind of mutes the light a bit, so it's less, but so we still can see around us.
I will do what Silvana does, like Sil tries for me to do. Try to like shoot it looks down a bit.
Jack had the big light, so he just turns his off.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys see? Did you?
That's fine.
Eamon asked, "Did you guys saw what I saw there? A red weird thing."
Yeah, no, we can see it. Let's stay
We need to
quiet.
see.
And what's there? See what's there.
Yeah. We're going to move more quietly now, I think, from this point.
Cool. You move as quietly as you think is possible. You're going slowly. You're not talking. However, in this pitch darkness, there is a. You also sound like you're like a herd of elephants. Every small move, the movement of your clothes brushing against itself, sounds thunderous. Your little familiar, what's it called, Donna? Sylv.
His name's Sunny.
Sunny pokes. Can it speak to you?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Can
he's
it
very
speak,
smart.
or does it speak psychically?
Oh, he speaks.
He comes out of your pocket and kind of crawls up and stands on your shoulder and says, "All the other rats have left. I can't smell them anymore. There are none around here."
Got it. This is the place, I think, guys. Because everybody runs away from the biggest scary thing. Except us. We're dumb. And
Jack,
she'll kind of pet Sunny's, little head.
I realized I was muted when people, which is why no one was listening. Jack will say, if I can block the sound, do you guys think you can, I don't know, do your stuff and see what's going over there while we don't potentially have to get close to the killer robot?
Yeah, I'll try. As she opens up her bag and starts rummaging in there for that blindfold again. And she moves like to one side so she can like sit against a wall, so she's hopefully out of the way.
So Jack is going to take out his flute and invoking secrets of wind and darkness and whispering to the spirits of wind and darkness to cloak them in silence here. He's going to whisper a secret into his flute.
Tell me we don't want to listen.
Like
what is the secret?
Yeah.
We can use flair for this.
Yeah. He's actually going to whisper in. He's going to whisper in, "I hate God for leaving me."
Not necessarily too secretive given Jack's current state, but nevertheless deep and philosophical. You can have a -2 for that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say Sylph's too busy trying to set herself up to do stuff.
Oh no, it's like
He-
properly whispered so no one else can hear.
That's fine. Either way, she didn't hear anything.
2 successes.
So you're using forces, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think this would be coincidental unless you're like really egregiously like trying to make yourself straight up invisible. You're just using the shadows to cloak you, right?
And specifically what he's trying to actually do is stop the sound carrying.
Oh, okay. I think coincidental then.
This
So-
figures that if they've turned their lights off and they're in the darkness, like there's a limited amount that invisibility will do.
When he's done with that, I'll do my thing.
The wind absolutely deadens and stops around you. The air is like unnaturally and freakily still. However, the small movements you do make, it's almost like you're kind of hearing through water. Like the air just seems thicker, and your sounds are muffled. You'll get +2 to all stealth rolls that are sound based until you do this effect. Actually, you'll get +1 if you want this to last for the scene, Duncan. Sorry.
Then can I make a second roll?
You can go for it, absolutely. Same flare, so same difficulty, difficulty 3.
That'll be another 2.
Cool. You will get -3 for the rest of the scene. You're in air soup. Eamon, while the rest of these two are performing magic and you are keeping an eye out, the red light blinks once. Just goes off and then goes on again for like a second.
It is kind of surprised that the red light blinks, because like, why it's blinking?
Killer robot.
Yeah, so he kind of like points his. He kind of points the light towards it, but I don't think like it will be a thing.
You
So
can
we'll be
point
able
your
to see
torch towards it, of course.
it. No, I don't think that we will be able to see it though.
Why not?
Yeah, he will actually like his curiosity will get the better of him because I actually have the flaw.
Okay.
If
So
if I'm doing magic, then I can't stop you.
Yeah, while you two are doing this, you see Eamon just looking off, and then clearly he just gets bored of this, and he raises his torch and just shines it over. You see a red light on the floor of the railway. It's between the tracks, and it's just a tiny little red light. Which, when you shine a torch on it, you can't. You can just see it like not that well because it's not that bright a light. It looks brighter in the darkness, but yeah,
Okay.
it's like on the floor. There's nothing there. There's not like a robot.
The image kind of guys, it's just a light.
It's between the tracks.
Yeah, between the tracks though, it's between us and the
Well,
thing.
Silva's still going to do this because she basically what she was going to do. She's going to since she has the blindfold, was just using it literally. She was going to sit down, tie on the blindfold,
Mm-hmm.
close her eyes underneath it, obviously, and she's going to use her light as as something to be to represent a lamp
Mm-hmm.
because it's the closest she's got. And as for the oxen, she's going to attempt to try to sort of sketch one in the dirt around her. Or the dirt or whatever's there. She's going to attempt to like draw one with her finger on the ground in whatever stuff is there. She's going to get coronavirus from it. I know this already.
Cool.
But yeah, that's what she was going to do, and she's going to try to. I think the diff will be higher, but it should still work. She'll pray some more and such.
Go for it. The flare will still be -2.
Okay. She just wants to be able to extend her senses out to be able to see like further down the tunnel.
Go for it.
That's 3 successes right there.
Cool.
That should be plenty for what she needs to do here.
As you close your eyes, you begin to chant, and it begins to kind of come into focus. The thing down the corridor, which is an eyesight, you have more than enough successes, and you see, literally, like a little kind of looks almost like a little red gem glowing.
Okay.
As you do this, something like swivels in it. It appears to have like almost like a kind of like weird metallic tail, and it looks at you and blinks. And I don't mean like the light blinks. I mean like an eye blinks, like an iris.
So whatever it is, it sees magic.
And whatever it is, it's seen you.
Right, because she's only like it's really just her senses that are there.
Yes,
So
but you're not that far away from it. It's noticed you.
okay, that's fair. Can I go any further? Like, or is this at a cross in the tunnel, or is it just like down the tunnel? There's no other exits from around that area, right?
There are no other exits around from that area. Sure,
Okay.
you can start looking further down the tunnel.
Yeah, she's going to do that to see if she sees or anything else that's odd.
Okay, sure. It's pitch black down there.
Fair. Probably not seeing too well then.
Sure, you don't see too well. However, you see a shape coming towards you very fast. It's very big.
Is it big? Okay. Yeah. Zipping back to my body as fast as I can.
Open your eyes. Is this? Yeah.
Yeah, she opens her eyes and yanks, pulls the knot on the blindfold really quick. She's like, that thing is some kind of a red gem, but it could see me. And there's something big coming this way.
By now, you guys can hear it. There's a metal clang, 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 clang coming down the corridor.
Let's run away.
Yes,
Jack
that
will
is our plan.
grab Sylve's arm and yank her up from a sitting position and start fucking running.
I have a
Where was her
curiosity.
mouse at? Was her mouse on her shoulder?
Yeah, it's now
Still,
in your,
or was
it's
he
now,
hiding?
it's now in your pocket.
Fair enough. Good. She's not worried about. She just wanted to make sure he didn't get thrown off.
I have
Okay.
a curiosity flaw, so I think I need to like see it before I run away, or I need to make a roll.
I think you
you
know
can
that
make a
there's
roll.
something terrifying coming to kill you. I think that if this is a situation where curiosity is not
It's killing
It's
the
not
hypothetical
applicable.
cat.
yeah. It's like saying I'm curious what happens if I jump off a bridge.
Okay, I'm also running.
Cool,
Yeah.
you're running. Who's going first? In fact, no, you're running in darkness, even with the torches. Can you make me a wits athletics check not to trip up as you run away?
We would love to.
I would love to try.
You said wits athletics.
Wits athletics,
Okay.
yes.
If we
And
don't
that's a
have
strange
athletics,
You can still roll it.
I got 3.
a 1.
You're running along in the darkness. Eamon, you occasionally catch your foot, but you don't stumble. Maybe just breaks your stride slightly. But yeah, you're going the slowest. You can now hear this clang, clang, clang behind you. It's occasionally a clang, occasionally a thud.
Amen. Are you
It's getting
okay?
very
And she's
close.
like, yeah, she's getting out of breath a little bit, but she's, in theory, probably in the front, I guess, at this point, because she's got 3 successes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Sure. Are you okay? Are you coming? Is everything okay?
He's like running, but as Robbie said, like I hear the voices coming closer, or it stops after some time.
No, it's coming after you.
Like if I look at back, like like that running and looking at the back.
Absolutely. You see... Ooh, shit. Fuck off. You see this coming down the corridor behind you.
Oh fuck! That's insanely scary. I'm trying to run away more.
Okay. I'm not. So basically, you guys keep running away more. It's getting closer. It's getting closer. It's getting closer. You guys are fucking panicking now. You know that what lies ahead of you is half a kilometer of train tunnel. You just walk down it. Eamon,
Mm-hmm.
you hear it right behind you. Can you roll dodge for me, please, as it attempts to grapple you?
Mm-hmm. I will roll my best dice pool of 2 successes, 2 dice, and I pass.
You feel almost like when you're standing on the edge of a train station and a train goes past you, that wind and that like force just over your head, and at the last minute you duck.
Ah, fuck! That's what they Jack himself hears.
Sylv will pause for a second and try to grab his hand to tug him forward faster, like reaching around Jack, who's behind her.
We're a very cute triple, as like we hold hands and run. We're like this team is like Ron, Hermione, and the Harry Potter.
So which one of you is the slowest, though? Which one of you has been dragged along?
I am.
You go along. You take a moment in the flickering Blair Witch torches that you guys are kind of running with. All three of you look at each other. You look fucking terrified.
Yep.
Like this is a serious moment. And Amachan, he's going to do it. He's going to try grab you again.
Okay. I don't think I can. I don't have enough dice pool to resist that. So yeah.
That's fine. You are grabbed by what sounds like the wind is knocked out of you. An absolute a force grabs you that is like it's like being picked up or hit by a car. It's incredibly strong force, and you are grabbed and you are slammed against the wall. You two have a moment to react if you'd like.
Actually, I was going to say I was holding his hand since I grabbed him to tug him faster.
Okay, you can let go if you like.
Would I be able to? Well, I mean, that's what I was wondering is if he gets yanked free.
Yeah,
do I have a chance to keep him?
He definitely gets yanked free. You can hold on and be like dragged with him if you like.
That sounds. I feel like that's not likely what would happen.
No, okay. You two
have a
moment to do something as you hear Eamon be slammed against the wall. Eamon, you don't feel like you've been like badly hurt. The wind has been knocked out of you. You've been slammed against a wall.
It's like, it's that
Jack's
moment
stunned.
where you're like, yeah, I'm stunned. Okay.
So, I think first we spin around, like Jack spins around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And just immediately on spinning around, what does he see?
You see a massive. Are you going to shine a torch there?
Jack had turned his torch
would suggest.
Okay, you see a massive hulking shape. I mean, we're talking like maybe half again. No, probably not. Maybe like 2 feet, 3 feet taller than a normal man, but maybe like 2 or 3 times its bulk. It's hunched. It looks almost ape-like, and yeah, you see Eamon pinned to the wall by a giant grey fleshed hand.
So Jack has PTSD related to a bane that manifested in a mine.
Okay, what are the rules for that? Because that sounds great.
The answer is
while you guys are figuring that out,
no,
because we're able to go at the same time.
Sure.
Okay, the only reason I ask is because she was gonna she remembered the thing about the light. She's carrying her regular flashlight. She's gonna try to flash it in its face.
Absolutely, you can shine the light on it. When you shine the light on it, you see something that would look like this.
God, it's a spider. Oh, thank God it's not a spider.
Imagine this, but massive, hulking, covered in rags. Pinned
Sounds like Grace's ex-husband.
Grace's
ex-husband, how he looked in the end.
With a fist raised to strike Eamon down. In those moments, because I'm not going to cock tease you here. In these moments, it's going to roll to attack you. So, Eamon.
I'm just looking at the floor.
Okay.
It sadly doesn't have rules.
Okay, you have a moment's flashback. I'm going to say you're stunned.
Yeah.
For the moment, and I just want you to role play it.
Yeah, so he just screams. So he just screams.
All right. Well, if she still has his hand, she's going to she's going to like glance back at him, and she's going to grab his hand, pull him behind her, and she's going to try to grab his light because it's much brighter.
Cool. The attack
She's
roll
an ult.
is 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 successes. 18 damage. So there's a shitload of damage to the wall next to Eamon's head as a massive fist as large as his head crashes into the concrete. Eamon, you are face to face with this creature and you see this.
Can I say something? Like, can I do something very funny?
Go for it.
It's like, I'm a member of House Valerian, and I will not be
As you do this, you see
Okay.
this. You are face to face with this massive creature, and you see. So you actually only see. You see one eye, which is red and cybernetic,
Mhm.
and you see another one, which is human and looks terrified.
It's like he was trying to be like all this, like, I'm a member of House Valerian, and I will not be bullied, and he's like, I'm bullied. he just like stops.
Is Eamon wearing brown pants?
Yeah, he's wearing brown pants.
If he wasn't, he is now.
Yeah, he is now.
Yeah, it's the second I get the chance, she is going to like move forward and just try to shove this light in that guy's face, like the
So,
super bright light.
Before this happens, Eamon, you are confronted with this face. One eye is very human and looks very scared, and he's looking directly at you. And it's just purposefully not killed you.
He's like, we're not here to hurt you, man. We're not here to hurt you. He's like, out of being so scared, he's like, we're not here to hurt you. We're not here to hurt you.
The monster steps back, drops you. It's like a weight has been like literally taken from you, and he steps back and just looks absolutely terrified. In the light, it doesn't actually seem like that it's been damaged by light. Like you said,
Okay.
but it steps back and kind of looks at the three of you and then looks at itself. And it's going to start crying. It's going to drop to its knees. It's massive. It's as tall as you on its knees. And it's going to start weeping. Its mouth looks like it's kind of like literally molded shut.
I'm just going to make a willpower roll just to guide Jack's reaction, if that's okay.
Absolutely, of course.
Yeah, she's kind of taken aback by this as she sort of points the light more down to the ground, and she will reach over. She's going to reach over and try to grab Eamon to get him with the rest of us.
Jack fails. So I think he's also sobbing on the ground. I got 3 1s.
I'm gonna go for it as well.
I feel like Sylve's been pretty strong in this scenario. I don't think she necessarily needs to not cry. I think she's all right.
Jack,
A little scared.
The creature hears you. It looks up slightly, and it reaches out a massive arm, leans forward slightly, and grabs you by the arm, and brings you into a very comforting and cuddling embrace. It's like you're being hugged by a silverback, and it starts stroking your back.
That's probably quite comforting, as what destroyed the Bane was a rush of water from a water tank. So, let's go with it.
I don't think. No, okay,
even?
you don't have a choice. Like, this thing is like strength 8.
No, completely.
And yeah, you also get a close-up look at this thing's. Its face looks mutilated, brutalized. You feel like the scars under its body. You feel like weird lumps under its the tunic of its chest. They feel metallic. Parts of it feel cold, but yeah, it's like whimpering.
Jack will just look up into its. Can I see its eye?
You can see its eye. So a part of its face is like metal, and it essentially has a bionic socket. You can Silver, upon seeing this, can guess that the eye is from this bionic socket, and the normal eye is crying.
You're a
Um,
person.
It nods.
What's your name? Who did this to
I
you?
think the cat's got his tongue.
It kind of puts you down, and it stands up, and you can see it's like shaking, and it's going to go to the concrete, and it'll kind of gesture to the concrete and then gesture at the torch that Silver's holding.
She'll walk over with it.
If you shine it on the wall, he takes one of his hands, and you see one of his hands is like a robotic like weapon. Like he doesn't really have fingers; it just has like these fucking hand knives. But he will carve with one of his hand knives a name on the corridor, which is Emiliano. It looks a bit shaky. It's very clumsy, almost like he's not used to the body, or like he's writing with his left hand or something.
is this were you? You're human?
He nods and he looks at Eamon, and he'll then write sorry on the wall.
I think our plan needs to be changed, guys.
What's your name, man?
He just carved it onto the wall.
He'll
Oh, I
point
thought-
at it. It's
Oh.
Emiliano.
He says, hello, Emiliano. Sorry for disturbing you while you were sleeping, I presume.
Jack,
It shakes its head.
how long have you been down here? I mean, now, like, Jack and Silver probably recognize, like, the body language. Now he's, like, come out of the shock a bit. He's gone straight into, like, priest mode,
She knows.
if that makes sense.
Well, his I need to help people mode, really.
Yeah,
is what
completely.
It is.
He looks at you and he just kind of a very human shrug.
The people have been hurting you, or are they like trying to capture you? You seem
He
like
nods.
you. Do you know
People
who?
in the suits.
He nods. Upon closer examination, there is one slightly strange thing about him, or it. It's wearing what looks like kind of a sack, but you see there are weird things. You see a couple of dead rats around its waist, and you see that it actually has hanging from its neck, made from small bones and some kind of weird twine, a kind of almost like a more like a dream catcher, but like a kind of a weird charm. It's very crude and very small.
Did you make these?
It nods.
You're a mage as well?
It nods. And it turns back to the wall and it types. Dream speaker.
Oh,
You should
My
take him
friend.
to our.
And then it turns and with its
No,
claws.
before he does that, Jack's going to do something, which is Jack is going to, like, sort of bow his head extremely reverently, like, I'm honored. I've wanted to meet one of you for some time.
It looks at you, it lifts at your head with one hand and shakes its head and takes its dagger fingers and scratches them violently, scratching out Dream Speaker. And then shakes its head. And there's a profound sense of loss there.
I think he used to be a dream speaker, but it is nice to meet your fellow mage. Were you captured
think
by the suits when you were a dream speaker and they made this to you?
He nods.
Emiliano, is this So you're not a dream speaker anymore as a result of this. Is that correct?
He nods.
Can you still do magic?
It shakes its head. For you, especially Eamon, you're aware of a process where you can have your magic removed from you. You know that the Order of Hermes does this to like the worst kind of traitors, and the reason that is it's basically considered like on par with death. It's the worst possible
Mm-hmm.
thing. Like you hear mages all the time say, "Oh, I'd rather die than be gelded."
There's a thing that I heard in the past, or I think I read it in a book. I'm not really sure, guys. But in the order, there was this punishment where they take your magic from you. It's called Dul or something like that.
Jack is going to look utterly horrified and look at Emiliano and like, I'm so sorry, I can't think of not hearing the Earth Song anymore.
He nods. He's going to go with the one flesh hand. I don't say human because it's like massive and brutish. And he'll just kind of gently gesture down the corridor for you guys to follow him.
Yeah. Silva.
So does Eamon.
You walk down the corridor for maybe a few hundred meters. On the way, he nonchalantly just kind of like stoops down and picks up the eye. And you hear a kind of mechanical whirring as he fits it back into the socket. And you go a bit further, and it turns to a hole, and you see there's almost like a service kind of area, slightly off from the train track, and it basically kind of just like walks down there. As you come into it, you go into a room which is not really like you expected to find down here. There are lots of small rat pelts around. There are more of these bone charms, especially around the door. And on in a corner, there is a big pile of newspaper. And you can see that on the newspaper, there is a man in a New York subway construction worker who looks sound asleep. And you also see on another side, and it's actually on in a kind of small raised alcove, you can see lots of things like pestle and mortars and all sorts of weird. You can see lots of pharmaceutical packets and lots of plant packets that you can imagine have been Emiliano has stolen from somewhere. And yeah, essentially a small alchemisty / witch doctory kind of setup. He points towards the sleeping man and does the kind of quite gentle thing where you put your hands together like a pray and you put your head on it to symbolize that you're sleeping, and then he points towards the drugs.
Did he find you down here?
He nods.
Okay. Sil, do you still have the sandwiches?
Oh yeah, sure. She pulls actually both of them out because she's not hungry and she's pretty sure we're gonna get out just fine. So she'll pull them both out and we'll offer them up.
If there is like a way that we can go to our house, we can have Emiliano come to our chantry.
He shakes his head.
Why? You would be safe there.
He just shakes his head.
I think he's more comfortable here, maybe.
He says he points at himself and then go up and then points at you three and puts one of the knife fingers like across his throat.
You would die if you went up there. The light?
No, people would kill him.
He shakes his head. He points at you three and then does the death symbol.
The mages will kill him.
He shakes his head.
You'll kill us.
Now
Are
they will
you?
kill us.
When Eamon says that, he nods.
Are you what's considered to be a? And I've heard the word hit mark, right? They actually said that word.
The
It's in the
mages,
papers, right?
the technocrat didn't. The mages, the Akashic, said they were hit. He was a hit mark.
Okay. She says, okay, are you a hit mark? Technically.
He kind of shrugs and then pulls up one of its wrists, and you see on its wrist there is a metallic tattoo that says HIIT MK V. Actually,
Gotcha. So
no, MK A.
Maybe
And none of you have had enough law to know what that means. Sorry.
that's okay.
Maybe-
The Wendy's the first part, so it's fine.
maybe I can put a correspondence word here. I don't know if the term correspondence word does exist, Robbie.
You wouldn't say it correspondence ward. There would be a hermetic name for it, which would be a protective ward of some kind.
I
Maybe
think let's
go on,
just
Duncan.
explain why we're down here.
Mhm.
So, Emiliano, the traditions sent us. The traditions got hold of us and sent us to find you. The technocracy asked them to help find you in exchange for some kind of prisoner exchange.
We thought it was a robot of some sort.
He looks a bit taken back.
That's how we knew to look for you.
He
I'm
nods
not turning
slowly.
him over. Yeah, she just looks at the other two. I'm not turning him over.
No, but this is why. Emiliano, do you want to stay down here? Or we could tell the traditions? Or not?
He's gonna go to the wall, and he's gonna kind of like brush some stuff aside, even the charms. So he's got a space, and he's going to very, very carefully and clumsily type on the wall. They have my apprentice.
The technocracy.
It nods.
So they got you both at the same time, I assume, maybe.
If
He nods.
traditions learn that you're a member, or you used to be a member of Dream Speakers, and they still have your apprentice, wouldn't they care?
No, sorry. He means to avoid misunderstanding. He typed it after it was. He means the implication was the technocracy
Mm-hmm.
has his apprentice.
That's exactly what Damon says. If
Oh, okay,
technocracy
sorry.
has your apprentice, and if you are, or if you used to be a Dream Speaker and they done this to you, wouldn't traditions care about this?
That would be the prisoner exchange.
Hmm.
Surely. That makes sense.
Emiliano kind of shrugs, but then like nods, like he's kind of saying probably, but he doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Do you have anything that belongs to your apprentice?
He thinks for a moment and then shakes his head and then stops and nods.
Guys, but if he tried to save the apprentice,
that's what I was thinking.
if he saved the apprentice, and if he basically pulled us off without getting caught, there's no need for exchange, so Emiliano doesn't have to die.
It says he types when he nods, he has something of his apprentice. He types this name on the wall, Juan Lopez.
Is that his name?
He nods.
Okay. So that's something we can find out where he is. I guess. We still need some way of getting you. getting you to safety or somewhere. You'll get
You
found
should-
down here.
I can try to put some protective wards here.
The only problem with that is if we do that, it'll be a red flag to any of us who tries to explore here. What we need to do is find some way to adjust, as she gestures to the sleeping guy, adjust his memories, and then get him out of here. Then there's no reason for anybody to be down here.
He nods.
Can you do that?
Well, see, could I do that with mine too? Is that a possible thing?
No, you could.
Mind changes, I think, is mind 4.
Yeah, you can't
it-
alter memory, but you could implant lots of different emotions and kind of give him like maybe he don't know, like it was a dream or something weird happened.
I would.
But no,
that
but
would be something.
you can persuade, but you can't make anything happen.
Okay. So basically, be like me having a conversation in his brain with him
No, what I'm
and
saying
convincing
is,
him
three.
that.
what I'm saying is what you can give impressions of what's been happening.
So with mind 2, you can make people feel emotions.
Okay. Can I see what he like the events as he saw them first?
No, I don't think so.
No, that's mind 3
Okay.
as well.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
it's
It just
all
would make it
very-
easier to convince him. It'd be easier to convince him if I knew what his memories were.
Yeah, mind 2 is all it's very sort of sledgehammer approach, if that makes sense.
Right. Okay. Maybe she's just gonna kind of ponder. She's like,
Another thing we can do is basically, I can get out, buy a bunch of drinks. You guys can remain here. But I don't know if the idea would make sense, but I'm just saying that like we can basically say we found him and we found a bunch of drinks near him.
that might work better with stronger drugs than alcohol. Something that causes hallucinations.
Or we can say like we saw some strange things like drugs because we're good people. We don't know if they're drugs. I mean, someone who is good at lying needs to say this because guess what? I'm not very good at lying.
I mean,
He kind of looks at Jack.
Jack is also not very good at
Okay,
lying. No, I mean, okay. Here's the
guys,
thing. This,
I have subterfuge 3.
so okay, before we go into framing a guy for drug abuse on the job, okay, why don't, if Sylph just implants an incredibly confusing array of emotions into his mind, so he's just confused, doesn't quite know what's going on, he suffered a head injury, and then we just leave him next to something that we pull off a roof, okay? We can get something down off the ceiling, put it in,
That's good
and
because
he'll
I can
just think
actually
something's hit his head.
include.
And
No,
he's
that's good because then we can make him be a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's what I'll do.
Some product of concussion. How good are either of you at the sphere of could either of you replicate concussion, like biologically?
I'm not.
I'm not that skilled, and to be honest, I'm not sure I'd want to.
In fact, no. He's been knocked out by a hit mark. He just has concussion.
I mean, I'm not worried about that as much as. I mean, maybe the head injury is done by the time he wakes up. I don't know.
The point is that if he's had signs of he was concussed and anything he saw, it further adds to what he saw was crazy. It was just some accident.
Maybe he'll fall down.
That's the point. I'm going. Literally, Jack said, we leave him next to something that's fallen off the ceiling.
Yeah.
And they can make up their own
Something fell on
minds
his
of what
head.
happened.
And he has confused emotions and a concussion.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yep, that's our plan. Actually, yeah, I have I think Saint Dymphna might help me with this one. She's the saint of mental health, or he is, whichever one. Oh, is he? Mind stuff. Okay, so we can. How long? What kind of drugs do you have there? Do you know how long they're going to keep him asleep? We don't want them to be found in his system.
He shrugs. And yeah, he did type on the wall or carve on the wall. What traditions are you?
Oh, we're not in a.
But when you started talking about important things, he kind of stopped. You get the feeling he might be starved for conversation. But he says he doesn't have any. He doesn't have any drugs. He basically.
Oh, I thought he said that's why he was sleeping.
No, sorry, you're right. To your question, he doesn't really know how it all worked. You get the feeling that he was like some kind of maybe a medicine man, but he's not really super practiced in like actual medicine.
Eamon points at the wall and basically says, "I'm not in any tradition, but I want to be hermetic one day."
He nods.
Same. I'm an orphan, but I want to join the Dream Speakers.
He cocks his head at this.
She kind of, yeah, she's gonna let that sort of set for a second, so she can just say, I'm a Benedetta, but I don't know what I'm going to do in the future.
He nods.
Are you Italian, Emiliano?
He shakes his head.
No, she asked. No. Okay, just wondering. I knew an Emiliano in Italy.
He nods his head and then shakes again.
She smiles. She gets it. Okay, so
So we need to. So
we need to
know
get what
we need
we
to find.
need whatever's in his system out of it. So we need to give that some time.
He nods. He shakes his head and says, like when you say not Italian, and he'll go to the wall and he will type in this. That's absolutely fine, dude. Christy, do you need to do changeling as well?
Yeah, I'm supposed to as well. I mean, maybe I can do some rolls here in a I don't know.
We can the rest of the scene I don't think is going to be too complex. If you guys want, you can basically start taking the guy to roughly the surface, and sorry, like you can enact that plan. Like I'm going to tell you that plan's going to work. Yeah, if we need to end the scene now.
I would be very happy, but I'm not going to stop people from enjoying.
The one thing that Jack wants to ask as well is he will ask he was asking Emiliano, do you want the traditions to know that it's you and you're here? And
I was going to say, Duncan, if you want to stay in for like another 10 minutes, if these two want to jump out.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Okay.
So the scene.
Yeah,
the rest of the scene will take place walking back to the station. The pair of you, Jack is still shell shocked and shaking. Will be walking ahead, and Jack and Emiliano will drop slightly behind, and we'll have a quick conversation on the way back.
Okay. Thank you guys. Have fun.
Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed the scene.
It was amazing.
It
Bye-bye,
did.
guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
No, so yeah, so Jack will be like, do you want the traditions to know that you're down here?
He kind of pauses for a moment. You get the feeling that he's not sure, but then he stoically nods his head.
An Akashic with a suit and glasses and an umbrella, like a British guy. I can't remember his name. There was a chorister called Solomon,
Mm-hmm.
a virtual adept that was talking out of a phone and some girl who looked like she was really into cowboy cosplay.
There's a small sort of like convulsion from Emiliano at this point, almost like a bit of a coughing fit. And with the 3 torches, this area is fairly lit up. You can see his eye that he's kind of smiling a bit, and it dawns on you that was a small laugh.
So, do you know them?
He shrugs and shakes his head, kind of a bit despondently.
That's fine. Okay. Do you know?
As he's going along, he'll actually he'll draw back his basically if you want to communicate, he can just stop and carve it on the wall very quickly.
Yeah. What about the other dream speakers? I can find them and tell them about you.
He nods.
Do you know where they are?
He'll stop and shrug, and he'll say, and he'll type, in America, no. In Mexico, maybe.
I can go to Mexico.
He shakes his head and just carves apprentice. And
Okay.
then stops. Please.
No, of course we'll make sure the apprentice we'll find a way to get the apprentice out of wherever he is. Do you have any idea of where? Anything that could give us a lead?
He shakes and shrugs.
That's okay. We'll.
He types on the wall with the army, and then looks a bit annoyed, scratches out army. Types in technocracy. Scratches in technocracy.
That's fine. We'll figure something out, okay?
He just nods. He stops for a moment, and there's a lot of kind of scratching on the wall, and he says, I wish I wasn't as I am.
I can believe that. Maybe we'll find someone to set you free.
Says the spirits no longer speak to me. When you say set him free, there's a kind of very slow nod, and he'll take you by the shoulder and like start walking you along the corridor again.
Yeah. Jack, though, before he goes, he will say took me a long time to find my path that was taking me towards the dream speakers, and there's a spirit I serve at a lake in New York City, in one of the parks. She's beautiful and she likes playing. He's going to take out his axe. And she gave me this. If you can't speak to the spirits, I can't do anything for you, especially now. But please take it. Just.
He looks very happy at what you're saying, but he shakes his head. And he will scratch. And then he's gonna point to himself and point to you. And then type dream speaker. And then scratch that out. And type scratch Kavadi. And then nod.
Kavadi. I understand. This thing the Technoxy have done to you may have taken away your ability to hear the spirits, but if you remember them and their memory and what was important to them, I know that I'm not one, but by any definition, you're still a Kavadi.
There's a slightly sad, but yet maybe a kind of sad smile comes across the crinkled, mutilated, cybernetic, muscle-enhanced face. As you saying this, you basically round the corner, and there's you can see that in the torchlight that you're coming up to the station. As you do this, he basically he's going to turn to you. He's going to turn to the three of you, and there'll be some kind of pleasantries.
Mhm.
He's going to take your head in the back of his hand and put your forehead to his, just for a moment, and
Mhm.
and then step back and nod to you all and turn and walk back down the corridor into the darkness.
Awesome.
And that's where we'll call it scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching.
Thank you, ST for ST.